So, hey everyone, this is the second meeting of October, and I'm joining from my Mac today. I'm away from my office, and so it will be a bit chill and Q&A. Due to my, I have MacBook Air, I can't, generate my recording, my screen, and do a screen share. And last week's session, I said that we are gonna make it shorter, but it actually take around 2.5 minute hours because we had a discussion on game industry, and we had actually a long and super fun session. And today I will show a few new things I've been testing, and this is the first one is Hunyuan new workflow node system setup, which I think really useful for, especially for non 3D software users. And I will talk about a UI pipeline right now, which I am working on with Google Gemini and Whisk. And then I will share some of my experiences this week, which I had chance to meet up with some of corporate gaming studios and get their opinions about uh, gaming industry and AI and how it's shaping. And I would like to start with Hanyan node setup because you might have questions while on the go. So I was creating a PDF file for the character creation and making it ready for game usage, in-game usage. And right now we have a very basic Hanyan character creation setup, which is basically when you enter the Hanyan main page, there is an option for upload an image. Once you upload your image, it basically takes out the background and creates the solid render and bake the textures on top of it and gives you the file as GLB, FBX, or OBJ, and which is really good point for 3D game creators, especially game developers who don't have budget for hiring a 3D artist or don't have time to learn the 3D stuff. It's basically creates the character for at least for MVP vertical slice playable game. But it requires some technical stuff. So I'm exploring about the Honeyon's new workflows and systems. And as you can see, there is a workflow section on top of the page. And I will talk about that briefly because I'm still experimenting it. And, we were creating characters from here. And then Hunyuan announced 3D Studio, which right now I'm creating the PDF file step by step on character creation and also environment asset creation on 3D Studio. Before that, we were using uh, Hunyuan 2.0, and I'm going to show you the website for it. This one. When you enter the Hunyuan 3D website, it was really basic. When you hit get started, it sends you into synexa.ai.com, which gives you demo for few 3D generations. But afterwards, you need to add credit, and it asks for $30 for starters. and which I already have at least $25 credit, but it's already out of date, and because of the Hunyuan new feature, which is version 3.0. And also they changed the website, and it's more advanced now, and it's improving day by day. And I'm also comparing it to other 3D generators such as Chat3D, Tripo, Meshi AI, and this is the most convenient and most advanced one. And let's dive into workflow. So in this workflow section, let me open up here, you will find out a page like this. And also don't mind my internet connection. I'm away from city and the connection is not that good. And I'm using Chrome browser to, translate it into English. It's more convenient. And usually I use Vivaldi, but for this specific case, I use Chrome. And when you enter the workflow section, you will see such a scene, but of course, you won't see this workflow JSON file because I was experimenting it. And there is a select from template area, create a workflow area, and import workflow. It says stay tuned. It's right now coming very near future, which is really exciting because when I create these JSON files, I can share with the community so they can have benefit of my experience without trying out in here. This is really useful. You have much more control. It's like when you generate characters in here, you can directly add it into game engine. Hey Jonathan. And I started with select from template section, and I will start pressing here, and each time I need to translate it in English. This is the downside of Tencent Hunyuan website. I hope they also add English section. And there is Wensheng props workflow, Tusheng props workflow. Tusheng is the latest one. And there are 9 different workflows, and I tested each of them. I'm more into 3D workflow. That's because it's the most hardest one. And for asset creation, we can use Triple and Hunyuan 2.0. Even you can use your local GPU and generate over ComfyUI using Hunyuan 2.0. But the character creation is much more advanced, so people needs to learn more technical stuff. So that's why I focused on the hardest part, so people can generate their characters for their game. And I will start with this one. So this is actually close to ComfyUI node setup. And for the ones who doesn't know ComfyUI node setup, I will just show you how that looks. It's basically nodes connected each other. On the right, you can see it's like adding the instructions one by one. And the ComfyUI and the Hunyuan also using the same system, node system. And also Blender has that. Let me show you really real quick. And also this is Houdini artists also use that workflows. Let me show you the node setup in here. This is really convenient and easy to use. When you go shader editor, let me add a cube in here, and I will just add a material. There you can see it's completely node based. So if you want to add something on your coloring, you can just add the nodes over here. Let's get back to Hunyuan. And here we've got ready template for character creation. Let me translate it into English. I tried to edit that because some of the things I found useless, such as scale standardization, and the terms are also a bit different than our regular terms. It says normalize the input image, including bone calibration. It's basically broke up my image. I just wanted to take this out from the uh, this node setup, but it doesn't allow me to edit. So I basically started creating new one. But notice that the nodes are not same. So I'm gonna try this out. And also I noticed it doesn't spend your credits on creating characters over here. So let me start with upload an image. And of course, I'm on Mac. I think I don't have any characters. I might, yeah, I'm gonna generate one character on Whisk. And let me get to Whisk. Or I can use one of my generated characters from previous ones. I was trying out some painterly shaded art style. Oh, I would like to generate this tower as well. But let's focus on the characters. This is the menu, main menu concept creation. I generated all the teams, seasons. I think my character is on this one. Okay, let's just use one of the advanced characters. I think this tiger is good, but the eyes need to be corrected. So I'm gonna pass that. Uh, let's this Pikachu is not that good. Oh, one is good, but this is not on T pose. Let's find the character with much convenient look. And also right now, actually, I'm showing what kind of image, the character image that you should use for generation. That looks fine. It's symmetrical. It's almost on A pose. And let's get to the Chrome browser and upload an image. Where did it download it? Oh, okay. Let's add documents. And okay, we are right now uploading our image, and I'm gonna hit generate PBR maps as well. Okay, so the only thing you should consider doing is hit run on the top right side of the page, and it basically starts the image to 3D generation phase. Right now you can see it loads the image. It took 1 second, and it takes the background, which, as you can see, we have the armor logos and the background, white background, and it basically remove the background. This node does this job, and scale standardization added this white ugly background, which we don't want to add. But unfortunately, this is basic template they added to their page. That's why I created my workflow. So I'm gonna leave this here because it's gonna take some time, like 1 minute 10 seconds, like 70 seconds. It took around 7 seconds. And I will go back to this workflow, which is much more convenient. And I would like to talk about this because I will use Nano Banana on this workflow as well. So we had our character while the other one is cooking on the back. I will just start working on that. So these are the main menu animations, and its prompt is in here. I will also share that as a PDF file. This is quite long prompt. And I will just start a new chat, and I just want to create an image. I'm sorry, this is in my language. If I can. Anyway, let's just keep. I'm just choosing the Nano Banana on Gemini. And then I will just import my character generation. Okay. And then there's a very basic prompt for it. I wrote it somewhere, but let me find in my previous generations. I think, what's that? Yeah, this one. I basically asked for this with this prompt. Let's add a new chat again. Hit the Nano Banana active. Add the character image and basically paste this, or you can type it. Create backside of this character in orthography view and hit go. And let's check our generation here. So the solid character is generated. It took 1 minute 42 seconds, and also texture generate phase is done in 72 seconds. I will just see my 3D mesh any minute on here. Yeah, you can see we have the character, but we have that ugly background which came from here. I don't know. They 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 should they should have tasted it before creating this template. Yeah, that so this is the output, and it is not good. This is from their template, and also there is a note for adding armature system and adding the animation, which you can choose. Let me translate in English. There is stride, fall, jump, very basic animations. There, it's already in here. It's also the fall animation, and we will see fall animation in any minute here. But also with this ugly background. Yeah, there it is. So whole node system, when I see it, I noticed that this is actually really useful because it doesn't use your local GPU. It's completely on their server. And this node system, you can just take out or put in whatever you want. So I'm gonna go into create this workflow from start. Thankfully, they added this feature. And in the meantime, let's check the nano banana. Now we have this back of this character. Why we need this? That's because if you have the four side of character, you will have all of the uh, data from each side. And this is important if you have detailed character. For example, you have a half robot, half human character, and you're gonna need that side as well, because if you don't add this uh, side of the information from that side, the image generator AI will use randomly created artifacts on that side. So we have this backside. But of course, maybe we need to clear this up, maybe on Photoshop, or there is a canvas section. No, it doesn't have. You can just import it into Photoshop and just clear that out. And then I'm gonna ask for uh, create backside, and now create right and left side of this character in orthographic view. It's also really fast. It takes around 10 seconds. Yeah, but it created it in same image, which I don't want to right now. Create right side of this character in orthographic view and create left side of this character in orthographic view. It's really convenient in my opinion. Okay, now it's just the Gemini does this. If you break things up or in a message on your chat, it keeps doing the same thing. So that's why we should feed it with image again to stop it from doing the same mistake. And I will just download it. We already have this on our download folder. Now also I will add right side. As you can see in right now, it did the job done. So it's all about understanding your LLMs. ChatGPT has downside and upsides, and Gemini has it as well. For example, in my experience, if I need long document, long text written file, I just go into Gemini because it's the chat GPT creates like four or 3 or 4 pages of text. But if I want something long, much longer, I just use Gemini. And we downloaded it. And let's open up this workflow. And I'm just gonna add the characters right now. Front one, take these into download. And then backside. Left side. And the right side. And there are some nodes which I don't know what is this branch node. I don't know yet what is this yet. And image segmentation for removing background. And let me run it because it's gonna take some time. And do we have animation? Yeah, we have animation. So I'm gonna add walking, or maybe adding dance. Okay, let's have fun a bit. And I will just run this workflow. It's probably gonna take around 4 minutes or less. In the meantime, let's go into creating these workflows from start. So there is basic node section. Let me, can I make them bigger? I think, mm, I can, I can't anyway. I hope you can see it. Anyway, I can't make it bigger, the user interface. There is a 5 different nodes. I will just start with load image node. It's basically as your JPEG or PNG. And then there are 2, 4, 6, 8, and 10 different nodes. I know each of what each of them do on the workflow. This is, for example, unwraps your 3D model, which is really useful uh, for non-3D software users. And this is for texture generation. And I'm gonna add in that, for example, this one is really cool. Intelligent surface reduction. It's basically, it's basically, um, let me open up their website. It's basically the retopo feature on their website built in one node. So you don't have to do retopo on the going into their retopo section page. So let me go back in here. And then there is image segmentation, which actually removes the background. Remove the background of input. And you add these nodes connected to each other so they can work on the system. And you're just gonna choose this picture because you might take this node from some other node input. And then you just add geometry generation, basically, and the texture generation from this mesh. And you're just gonna keep choosing these. For example, why you are choosing these. So the image comes from here, but you remove the background on this face. And this geometric generation asks you if you want to generate this 3D model from uh, image segmentation node or image loader node. But we want it from image segmentation node. Hey, Micah, welcome. How are you? I'm fine. How are you? And then on this geometry generation, we want to generate our image from the image segmentation node. The node system works like this. And the texture generation node, it asks if I want GLB or FBX or other things, but it's the limited. Uh, I'm sorry, this is really small, but it's their website. It's just, I cannot zoom more than that. And the picture, I'm gonna choose image segmentation. And then I will just finish this with end node because we generating the 3D model. We remove the background, we generated the 3D model, texture, and we have the end node. Now this can work like a charm. We can just upload an image. Let me use the same image that we used. I hope it works. For example, last night I created a workflow and run it. It worked. And then I added another character image, but it didn't work on, especially on this texture generation node. So I want to add more nodes like UV unwrapping and intelligent surface reduction, but I just add one by one to see where it starts broken, falling down. That shows that it's still work in progress, but it's really powerful tool in my opinion. So I'm gonna just hit on the right side of the top of the page. There is a create section. I will just hit create. Now we've created this workflow. And let me translate it again in English. There is save, run, and run list option. If you save this template, you won't be able to edit it again. So if the things are broken, you better do edit now. Otherwise, you're just gonna not edit after you're saving it. So I'm gonna just hit run to see if this is working, and we'll check their template workflow, which I think it's finished. Let's check each uh, phases. So we have multi-view geometry generation node, and this is gonna load up in a minute, in a second. Yeah, we have really nice character detailed. I, I mean, as a 3D artist, this is really huge because you have to do this on the modeling, sculpting. You basically skip this boring. To me, if I have time, like half an hour or 1 hour, I can just model and sculpt it. But I really don't want to sit on my table and keep sculpting all week long. I just don't like it. And right now, the technology is changing so fast. So this is really a powerful tool, in my opinion, because it's just perfect. I mean, I don't care about if it's game ready or not. It's just perfect. You can just start retopologizing on 3D software. And then let's get to the phase of multi-view PBR generation. This is where the character textures are generated. It's gonna load up in a second. While it's loading up, yeah, that's amazing. People don't appreciate this technology enough, in my opinion. But the one thing is, there is copyright problems with Hunyuan on some of countries such as US and some of the Europe countries. I haven't read that. I suggest you to check that out first. But uh, as long as you retopo and add some texturing on your own, I think you can use it. But I don't know if they add the copyright on their 3D generations or textures without, if you can get away from these signs or marks on the 3D models, you have to generate or you have to create models on by your own. But still, you can just use their 3D model for reference. It's just too powerful. And we have textured version. And when I see it's working, what was what was the animation? Yeah, it's dance. So basically, the heat map is broken. It dances, but it also thinks that these ears are belong to shoulder or arm. But that's completely fixable on 3D software. I wish we did some basic thing like walking. But anyway, we see that dance is not working with long ears. So that's because it's actually made for humanoid anatomy. So it all took around 1.5 minutes here, 2 minutes here, half minute on bone binding, and this solid generation is 1 minute 44 seconds. The nice thing about that is you can download each one uh, separately. What I mean by that is if you like to use this solid generation only, there is a download section and GLB and FBX. You can just download it in here. It's really cool. Whatever works for you, you can just download that one. The one, uh, when we generate characters from their website, from here upload an image section, you don't have this flexibility. And yeah, our created workflow stuck on texture generation. That's, I know, it's still work in progress. So, and the weird thing is it took 4 minutes on this one. It's all related to the servers. And also if you are generating one on other workflow, it also affects the other open tabs on the Hunyuan. And we also have the same detailed result, and it's actually much better. We are generating 4 different views on this workflow by using Gemini. And on here, but it added this unwanted the back of the accessory. But creating it from one image, basically Hunyuan didn't add any accessory here. It's just follow these patterns, which is actually really cool. Let's check the back of this and also back of this character. You can see we can use each depending on our case. So we had our animated character. Let's say that this is the final product. It's not, but it's getting there. It's evolving so fast. And I'm gonna go to Blender and import this character to see on my 3D software. I think it's downloading. I'm downloading stuff at the same time while I'm sharing screen. I hope my connection is good and sound is good. And let's, it takes some time. Yeah, about that. It's probably, I tested out yesterday and I'm gonna just use one of my tests workflow, which I found out is working. These blue ones are my templates tasted on yesterday. So I'm gonna use the last one, which is this. Is it? Yeah, it is. So edit load image node, image segmentation for removing background and unnecessary stuff, and geometry generation, texture generation, and intelligent surface reduction. And this is important. This is basically retopologizing your mesh, which you can use it in 3D software afterwards. So I'm gonna download this one to see the difference between high poly and low poly. Okay, let's open Blender. I'm just gonna drag and drop into Blender. This is really new feature, drag and drop. We didn't have this last year. And then the low resolution version. Drag and drop, import GLB. Let's delete this cube. I'm on my Mac. Mac is not really good on screen sharing, screen recording, and the using Blender at the same time. It's a bit slow, but we will see the result hopefully. I mean, I'm just gonna go into wireframe mode. This is yeah, this is animated version. Yeah, the FPS is just falling down. And this is unrigged version. The poly count is also a bit high, but the detail is just really good. And we are gonna check the FBX model now, which is polygon reduction one. This is actually high poly one. The small one is in here. It's half megabyte. And yeah. So the wireframe is just almost perfect. I'm just gonna quadrify it as well. The back on the GLB file, the FBX file actually has like 500. Oh, I selected both. Oh, this is my first time screen sharing and using Blender at the same time on my Mac. So I'm gonna delete these so just to speed up the workflow. So as you can see, this is high poly mesh, and this is the low poly mesh view. This is the low poly view. Just download it from this workflow in the same workflow. So this is flexible. But I will just talk about the texturing of the this workflows. This is one of the cons of this workflow. I noticed that it uses version 2.0. How can I say that? The texturing is just not good. Like comparing this one. Let me open up. I also generated this on their main page, and you will see the difference. And I hope they will bring the 2.3.0 version on that workflow. That's why it's free right now, because 2.0 and 2.1 and also 2.2 of Hunyuan 3D mesh generator is free right now. How can I say it's already built in ComfyUI, and they give completely free access to that. Check this out. This is generated with Hunyuan version 3.0, and just I can't imagine how it's the version 3.1 or 3.5 going to be. I think it's going to be just perfect, because even from this uh, camera of view, there are really minor problems, like I can tell on its ear and there, but it's just uh, it's almost there. Hanyon is just killing it right now. So learning Hanyan is really important if you are creating a 3D, or if you just interested in printing 3D models. You can just use generating from here. And then, so this is the workflow feature of Hanyan. There are some 3D templates, which I mentioned earlier. I use this graphics role workflow, which generates a 3D model from texture and adds bone system, bakes the texture, and adds basic movement to your animation to your character. And there are some ready templates as well. For example, this one, image generated intelligent face reduction character workflow. And you can also inspire from this workflow and create yours, which I actually did the same. For example, this one, I created this workflow. I want to add more, but it's just keeps failing me. And each time, for example, check out this one. Intelligent surface reduction took 20 minutes. And testing also takes time because it's free server. If the servers are busy, you won't be able to generate your uh, needs in time. So let's check this one as well. And it's the same, starts with same nodes. Load image, image segmentation, basically removes the background, and poster standardization. I really don't like this one. It says converting your full body into T-pose, but it adds backgrounds. They have to fix that. But maybe I'm just mixing it with some other node. I think I didn't use this one, poster standardization. I really needed that because my characters are on A pose, which I don't find it useful on Hunyuan workflow because it requires T pose to create your create animations on Hunyuan. I faced that problem on Hunyuan 3D Studio, and we covered that on last week's Q&A, I guess. And then we have geometric generation, intelligent surface reduction, which I think really powerful, and it's completely free. You can do these things on in ComfyUI, but it's gonna use your GPU, and while it's renders on your local GPU, you won't be able to use your computer. So using over here is really speeds up your workflow. And then adding bond binding, dynamic driving, and adding animations and finish. So this is Hunyuan workflow, which I think really powerful, and I will keep using and having experience on that. And I'm gonna get to the Gemini menu generation, main menu, game main menu UI generation. So I've generated my oops. So this is what I have. I've created using Gemini VO3 video generator. The VO3 is really mm, top of my favorite video generator tool. It gives you 3 daily free video generator, which I was just using so much at the beginning, but right now I'm just not really using it because I don't have needs anymore. For example, I generated this one. It just gives me the ideation. And also I can use this on my Steam page showing that main menu will be like this. And how I generated that is first I developed prompt on ChatGPT. You can see my back and forth iteration here. The first generation was this. I just told ChatGPT that GPT already has my information of Wildbloom game project. So I just asked what would main menu would look like, and it gave me the prompt, and I just here you can see the prompt. It's not that long. It's just start with the art style and the camera settings and the scene theme, and then circular cobblestone plaza glows warmly with whimsical flower, etc. It goes like this, and then adding the UI elements. And I thought this is a good starting point, but it doesn't have uniqueness. And I kept iterating it. First, I just asked the night version, and I noticed that it changes the buildings, which I don't want to change. I want to have consistent buildings so I can change the seasons and the day and night changes easily. And then I focused on that. Here you can see I did some season tests, and then I told ChatGPT that I just want 4 buildings on my scene. And let me check this, its prompt. And you can see it's the same prompt until here, but then you can see, and at its center, whimsical flower shade fountain. Okay. And then shimmers with a soft golden reflections, water recursion around the plaza, cozy cottage with pastel roofs. And I started adding building information. There you can see it started looking like it belongs to a game. Its uniqueness. You can see the old tower. And then I told ChatGPT that I'm gonna have library, garden flower, and the old house, and the other building. It's just for tasting purposes. My town doesn't have 4 buildings. It has more than 4 buildings, but I just tasting it with 4 buildings. And you can see the old tower started to have its uniqueness on each generation. And also the layout of buildings are now in same position. And I wanted to change the winter theme from the autumn to winter, and the old tower just fade out. And I focused on that, and I got it back. So this is back and forth process of creating how I create my concept arts. It's basically creating from text to the image. And I asked ChatGPT that we have this prompt already, and it's longer than before, as you can see. I asked, hey, just separate the old house from this prompt, and it gave me these, which I can just basically use Hunyuan to generate these buildings rather than modeling by hand. And afterwards, I can just fix it in Blender. And then, yeah, I go into Gemini and generated this beautiful animation. And the whisk based system, image generator, and the video generator of Gemini works differently if you use same prompt on each. And that's why you can animate, if you like the animation so much, the output so much on whisk, you can just add hit to add animation and use the same prompt to animate your scene. Let me check if I animated some of it. I have old game animations. No, I don't have any. It's also using same of Gemini video generator. But maybe you like the Google Gemini generator more, so you can use it anyway. So this is the main menu update on my Wildbloom game. I'm gonna hopefully, if I have time this and the next week, I will just start working on main menu using ChatGPT, of course, and maybe Cursor. And then I'm gonna talk about just briefly on the meeting that I had this week with the Italian gaming company. The name is App Idea. Um, there was a game designer and he was 43 years old. He played like thousands of games so far, and he is really experienced. He works with Japanese big corporate companies, and he told me that cozy gaming is on tops of tops on the industry right now. Everyone is creating cozy games. So if you want to be successful, you should focus on the games that are successful before, like Resident Evil. The other, think about the successful games like Minecraft, the Stardew Valley. Just use that concept and niche that out. You add your art style, own art style. Be unique. Don't be copycat. Because in his experience, I didn't see any copycat got successful like Stardew Valley. And just create your game. You don't have to invent an idea because already there are so many ideas which didn't got dissatisfied from the gaming community. So this idea. The I thought that it's worth sharing this idea, and maybe you can stop pushing so hard on and focus on aesthetics of your game. And you have these AI tools already. You can create a 4 and 5 members of team by using AI while you're creating your game solo. And that's about it on my updates for this week. And if you have any questions, I would be glad to answer, try to answer. And let me check on this week's cozy game.